Okay, welcome to this A-level exam question about sketching the graphs of three functions based on f of x, which is shown in this graph here. All right, so the first one is f of the modulus of x. Now this basically means that whenever x takes a negative value, in other words to the left of the y-axis, we treat the function exactly the same as if x was its positive value instead. So for example, when x is say 2, about here, that would give us the same result when x was minus 2, so it would be about here. Okay, when x is 6, you can see the graph is crossing at 0. When x is minus 6, the graph would cross at 0. So essentially it's a reflection in the y-axis. Okay, now to assist with the sketching, because it's very difficult with a tablet and pen, I've drawn out these already. So if I just put this roughly in position here as being the original function f of x, so that's sitting there like that. Okay, if I just move that slightly over, and if I take the reflected part of that on the other side, it would look something like this. If I start about there and stretch that up, it should roughly look correct. If I just move that into position like that. Okay, and that would be the shape of that function, y equals f of mod x. I'll just complete that graph there. So that would just come down and like that. Okay, and you're supposed to label the key crossing points, so let's do that now. This is the point 0, 4. Okay, so that hasn't moved anywhere. This is the point 6, 0. Okay, and over here, that's our 0 there, and this is our point negative 6, 0. Okay, so that's the first question, part A. Now in part B, we've got 4 minus f of x. Well, if you just think of negative f of x from GCSE days, that's a reflection of the function in the x-axis. Okay, it just flips it over. Okay, and if you then take 4 and put it in front, it's like adding 4, so it's a reflection in the x-axis, and then slide it up 4 places. Okay, so effectively what would happen is it would be upside down like this one here. Let me just select that, which would cause it to be under here. I just compare it with that one so you can see roughly what it would have looked like. Okay, so it's going to basically be sitting under there initially with the reflection in the x-axis. Okay, but then I'm going to slide it up 4 places, so it's going to be like that. Okay, so let's put it in position here, and it's there like that, slightly over there. Okay, and let me just redraw that missing x-axis. So you can see that it's been moved up and after it's been reflected in the line y equals 0, or the x-axis. Now we're supposed to label the axis crossing points. Well, that was 0, 0, that's very clear. The other one isn't an axis crossing point, but it's where the original 6, 0 has moved to. So I will just label that as 6, 4, which is where it would now be. Okay. Right, now the third question, C, is about a transformation of a function. Now, two things have happened here. The 3x would cause the function to compress by a factor of 3 towards the y-axis. So the point 6, 0 would become 2, 0. and the 2 would stretch it vertically by a factor of 2, so that 0.4 would become 8. 0.8. So essentially, this won't be to scale, but it doesn't need to be on a sketch. I've made some changes to the shape to reflect those changes I've just mentioned. It would look something like this. Okay, let me just move that down slightly. And basically, this point down here is now the point 20. So this is the point 2, 0 down here, and the point that was at 0.4 is now at 0.8. Okay, so that is really a GCSE question on transforming a graph. And that's the answer to those 3. We didn't need this one here in the end, so we'll remove that. Okay, I hope that was helpful. Take care.